and welcome to our latest WYTPod. I'm Stephen Lane, your host with White Labs, an e-commerce internet marketing agency. Today's guest is Charles. Charles, feel free to introduce yourself.
Hi, everyone. I'm Charles Mathewson. I am the founder and owner of Mathewson Standard, which is a furniture company that is designed for an online e-commerce market. So it started with the development of our new technology that allows us to make what was traditionally very high-end custom furniture that could only be sold locally, a small community setting. We've been able to, with new tooling, rework, and some new technologies, be able to deliver that kind of quality online. And so all of our products ship in a flat box and can be assembled by the end user, allowing them, again, what was traditionally custom-made quality, literally delivered to their front.
Awesome. Well, tell me more about your products.
So the core of the product is what we call the Mathewson Standard Mortise and Tenon, which is, for people who know a thing or two about woodworking and furniture making, the Mortise and Tenon is the strongest way to make furniture. In olden times, if we look back to the 19th century and beyond and earlier, that was how every piece of furniture was made. And then with mass manufacturing, we can look at IKEA as probably the biggest example.
Yeah.
They got away from the strength and durability of traditional Mortise and Tenon joinery, and they started looking to be able to build things quicker and faster, and they really compromised on quality. So that's why IKEA furniture doesn't really last very long. And they also don't use great materials. Our product allows us to use the Mortise and Tenon joint and get all the inherent strength of that without having to ship an assembled piece. So we can effectively assemble a Mortise and Tenon joint at the end. The end user can do it. So it gives them the strength, but it gives them the convenience of an IKEA product, along with much better quality, much better design. And we use all solid hardwood for our tables and our chairs and all of our furniture. So they really do just hold up a lot better over time.
Awesome. So what inspired you to go full e-commerce here?
So it was kind of weird. So I had the product before I had the business idea, actually, which is kind of weird. It started with my brother who needed a table, and it needed to be shipped from Chicago to South Carolina.
Gotcha.
And there was no good way to build a custom table and then be able to ship it, right? Normally you would have to have a shipping company. It'd be multiple days for them to drive a box truck halfway across the country. So I started toying around with and figuring out how to deliver the quality, but be able to ship it very easily. And that's how Generation 1, Beta 1.1, we started of what is now the Mathewson Standard Mortise and Tenon. And I spent about 5 years, after hours on weekends, working it and tweaking it and incorporating new technology. So we use CNCs to cut everything very precisely. And now we're on version 9 of the Mathewson Standard Mortise and Tenon. And this one is totally ready for customer use. When I'm looking at a product that allows me to deliver a product that is not available online and I can ship it anywhere, it's immediately lending itself to an e-commerce platform. It's kind of designed for online sales once you have that product. And so once the product was in total good operation, we had, worked out all the flaws, engineered out all the problems, and made it very user-friendly. That's when we started working with the business side, starting the e-commerce platform, getting the website up, and reaching out to different online sales channels and everything.
Gotcha. So who do you think would be who's your target audience for this?
I think we're at a pretty good point in time, right? If we were doing this 20 years ago, online shopping wasn't a huge thing.
Yep.
And 20 years ago, everybody was looking to buy something. The go-to was to go in stores.
Mm-hmm.
And now that we see the millennial generation and the Gen Z are starting to play into this a little bit, they grew up being very comfortable buying online. So instead of, if they need a book, they don't go to Barnes & Noble, they go to Amazon first.
Mm-hmm.
So we see that in everything they do. They just generally lean to, Google for it first, see if they can find something online. And furniture has never really branched into that space. Furniture has always been an in-store purchase. And now that we have millennials who are already accustomed to buying online, and we see them advancing their careers, buying their first homes, really in more of a need for furniture. And as they're getting older, they're going to want nicer furniture, right? They're not in college anymore. They don't want IKEA. And that's where we come in. We deliver them the quality they need that it's going to last their lifetime.
Awesome.
And we deliver the convenience that they're used to. They're so used to buying everything online, that instantaneous being able to purchase. They don't have to leave their home. We're now able to deliver that in a product that hasn't really been able to be delivered like that before.
Awesome. So what makes you different than your competitors, or what makes you better than your competitors?
So I'll start with the easier one, which is what makes us better.
I
And
figured.
really, it comes down to a few things I've touched on, and that's we use all solid wood construction. So a lot of places they'll use particle board, plywood, MDF, materials that just do not hold up very well over time. They're very susceptible to water damage. So if you have a table and you spill a glass of water on it, that can ruin an IKEA table. If there's any problems with the Formica finish they have on there, our tables, it's no problem at all.
Uh-huh.
And we also see just general durability. Everybody knows, everybody's ever had an IKEA or a Target brand or any of these previously flat packed assemble yourself furniture. You crack it or kick it once and it's never rigid again.
100%.
Yeah,
I know exactly what you're saying. Yeah.
It's kind of crazy. Everybody knows about this, and
No, I
nothing's
know
really
exactly what you're saying. Yeah. I mean,
solve it yet. And solid wood is much more durable in those materials, and that lends itself very well into the way we assemble it. Is with the Mathewson Standard Mortise and Tenon, which inherently is a lot stronger. It's mechanically interlocks in a way that other flat pack furniture does not. And if over time things loosen up or anything, the joint is you can tighten it yourself. So if any gaps or anything form or the tables become loose or chairs start to creak, in 1 minute of tweaking it, it's right back like it was brand new out of the box.
Gotcha. Cool.
So that's what lends itself very well to a long life of use.
Awesome. So what are your top selling or best selling products?
Tables continue to be a good one. And our design we have right now, and by the end of spring, I'm opening up a whole nother line for mid-century modern designs.
Awesome.
Our current design is one we came up with on our own. It pulls from some Art Nouveau, pretty heavily pulls from Georgian design. And that just design format lends itself very well to entryway tables and dining tables. Just the scale and form really shows off the design of it. And beds do pretty well too. Bed frames, similar thing. The form of a bed really shows off our design pretty well. And especially with beds, everybody's used to having to wrestle with trying to manage a bed frame or buy a bed frame, get a bed frame to their house, and being able to have it shipped to you in a box that's 6 inches tall.
Yeah,
it's just a convenience factor that is kind of unmatched.
Do you ship everywhere in the United States?
Yes, we have free shipping everywhere in the United States.
Gotcha. Do you have a store? Or is it all on your website?
It's all on our website. Yeah. So we're working. The interface is we're working to make it as seamless as possible. It works just like buying anything else online, and we do also offer through the website completely online. We call it made to size. So let's say you have a nightstand that you need, but there's nothing on the market that's quite the right size. You either need a little bit shorter, a little bit taller, wider, narrow, or whatever. You can input your own measurements, and because we do everything in-house at our facility here in Charleston, you can input whatever size you need, and we can make you effectively a custom piece of furniture and ship it to your house.
Awesome. That's helpful.
Yeah, so you can almost start designing and curating your entire house's worth of furniture through our pretty easy to use website.
What's your brand's vision for the future?
So we can break it up a little bit. 100 years from now, right? I would like to see it being kind of the household brand. You buy a new house, you just got married, buy a new house. Your first thought is, okay, we're going to go get a Mathewson Standard bed frame for our new bed. We're going to go to Mathewson Standard for our new dining room set. And I think there is room to go there because we're seeing a tendency with the newer generations to have a callback to wanting quality instead of just convenience, which now we even offer convenience and we also offer quality that we haven't had before. And we're seeing that in other sectors. The one that everybody points to that I've noticed is craft beer. Our parents all drank Coors and Miller, but now millennials all know their craft brewery of choice. They all have their beer blend that they like. And you see with whiskeys too. And I think that will start to emerge to other aspects of their lives. And I think furniture is going to be one of them. So that's the really long-term goal. And short-term goal, 5 years from now, I think it's going to become a pretty formidable player in the furniture game. We're starting to do a lot of online marketing, social media marketing, and I think it's going to become pretty well known. within the next
Awesome. No,
5
that
years.
was my next question. Is what activities are you doing? Because most of our listeners are in the e-commerce space. What activities are you doing to promote the brand?
So we start off with kind of all the basics. There's SEO, which you almost need to have now if you're going to run
Mm-hmm.
e-commerce. Social media marketing, so Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, and product placement is one that I'm working on now. I'm hoping as we end this quarter, go into the next quarter, especially on YouTube, reach out, start to create some more, not concrete, but start to create some connections with other YouTubers and
Uh-huh.
people who have a larger following, especially with the lifestyle and the vlog aspect of
Yep.
YouTube. They have pretty reliable sources or pretty reliable audiences, and their audiences have a lot of faith in them, and they are very good at showing kind of lifestyle products, which is what furniture is, right? It incorporates into your everyday
Mm-hmm.
lifestyle, and that's where we're looking to branch out next.
Awesome. So, what are some notable e-commerce challenges you face, and how have you overcome them?
That's a big question.
It is. That's my final question too. So feel free to think
Oh,
about it.
okay.
And I know it's not easy.
No, so I guess I can tell a little bit of a story with it. So my
Sure.
first forte into e-commerce was in the early days of COVID, so 2018, somewhere in that time frame. I started making jewelry boxes and such to sell online, so I just had free time now and I had a shop to
Uh-huh.
work in. And I started going to online sales for that, and it was difficult to get those online sales because I was trying to do all the marketing myself. So I
Yep.
was trying to manage all of the Facebook ads, all of the Instagram ads, all the content creation. And when my work picked back up and I kind of put that on the back burner, I had time to reflect and realize that I'm pretty good at working with wood in a wood shop, making furniture and jewelry boxes.
Uh-huh.
Marketing is something that has its own experts, and it has its own experts for a reason.
Yeah, for sure.
So when the Mathewson Standard Mortise and Tenon reached its 9th iteration, where we're at now, and it was ready to go for sale, the first thing I did was call a marketing agency
Awesome.
and pretty much told them everything about the product, everything, everywhere it could go, and let them kind of guide me on what they think I should do. So they manage the timing of all of the social media ads. They look over all of the Facebook, Instagram, Twitter ads, and for the SEO, right? Because when you're doing it yourself, SEO is really difficult. From my position, I really had no
Uh-huh.
clue how to get in there and work with meta tags and stuff. And making my first step in the e-commerce business, talking with the marketing people,
Mm-hmm.
solved 90% of my issues almost immediately. Because now I'm working with
Awesome.
people who are experts at this. They know exactly what they're doing. And yeah, being able to actually have SEO solves a lot of
Yeah,
online
no, that makes
sales
sense. Yeah,
issues.
yeah.
And other big issues, patience, I guess, is one, waiting for that first sale. Because well, obviously, I'm sure a lot of the listeners know, especially with SEO, not as much with pay-per-click, but especially with SEO, it takes so much time to build up that reputation with Google,
Mm-hmm.
especially for our product, right? We're not selling a $5 product, we're selling a
Yeah.
$1,500 product.
Yeah.
So finding that first sale takes a lot of time. Those
Mm-hmm.
backlinks have to build up. You need a lot of content on your website.
Yeah.
All that happens before you're generating any money, right? All you have are product expenses, marketing expenses, website expenses,
Yep.
just to get to that first sale. And patience is probably the best lesson learned, is just waiting for, not losing hope, and waiting for it to take its course and do what it's going to do.
Awesome. Well, look, you answered that perfectly, and I get it. We all get it.
Yeah. I feel like trying to break it down to, like, if I had to explain that to myself 6 years ago when I was trying to do it myself, in our youth, we're all bullish and no, I can do it. But to people who have gone through it, yeah, it's,
For sure.
yeah, they understand more of just the complexity, and it looks so easy on the surface, but once you get in there and you're designing a website and you're trying to figure out how to have your website portray your product best, and then especially, to answer your question a little bit more, when we're introducing a new technology, I'm using air quotes because I'm not like Apple or Microsoft,
Uh-huh.
introducing a new way to assemble a chair. It's a system that literally nobody has ever seen before. So there's an element of the customer has become educated on how to use it. What does it mean that I'm getting a custom quality piece shipped? What am I in for here? Right? A lot of people, there's a teaching and a learning curve there for the customer. That takes some time, because you have to have pages on the website now on how does this work. Pages on the website are what's the difference in your quality, and you don't see any of that when you first have the idea and first start doing the website creation.
100%. Is there anything else that you want our listeners to know about the Mathewson Standard?
I think we did a pretty good job. I mean, come check us out. You can visit the website, mathewsonstandard.com. If you have any questions, my phone number is on there. My email is on there. Feel free to reach out. I love hearing from our customers here and how they like it. I love hearing how they like it, because that means I'm producing a good product. But I love hearing. Yeah. I love hearing, and this doesn't happen very often, or it doesn't happen very often anymore, for sure. I love hearing about their ideas of how to make it better and keep on evolving.
It's good that's not happening anymore. I mean, you took suggestions, probably, I'm sure.
Yeah, I love hearing the suggestions. I love, hearing. Right, when I and anybody in my shop, to us, assembling a piece of furniture is the easiest thing in the world because we do it 10 hours a day. But there's, a learning curve of, okay, well, the person buying online doesn't have a background in carpentry.
Yeah.
So you have to learn how to make the system even simpler to use. You have to learn how to make your instructions, more uniform, more easy to read. I love that feedback that you get.
Definitely, Charles. I appreciate you coming on the WYTPod, and you have a great day.
You too. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.